Hello everyone and now welcome to a 2v2, what promises to be a 2v2 matchup that is exciting with a lot of battles as it's taking place here on an oldie but a goodie of a map, Lost Temple. We are looking at, Luli and a TapioN spawning as the Orc and Orc players down here off to the south side. Meanwhile, they're going up against MartialSpirit and Linger. Spirit playing as the human player under the name Ji Yongling. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Normally, when I see characters like that, I normally think it's trying to be Romanized Chinese characters. But then again, if it's some other language, my apologies. You can't really blame me for defaulting to Chinese if I see characters like that. I guess you could blame me. I don't think it would be really fair, but yeah, you can blame me. You can totally blame me for any personal grievances that you may have on how I, say a particular word, I guess, if you really want to. Anyways, let's go ahead and break things down in this matchup. Farseer getting trained up here, and Farseer getting trained up here. So dual Farseer coming in from the Orc team. Meanwhile, the Human and Night Elf team going for a Keeper of the Grove and an Archmage. In all of my 2v2 casts, I believe this is the first time where I've only seen intellect heroes being trained. So that is a bit interesting. We'll see what comes of this here in just a moment. All right, Footman already being trained up here. Archmage also being, Footman already making its way out here. We may be looking at a potential expansion attempt off on the top right-hand side. Now, in 2v2 matchups like this, it looks as though and the Orc players are still going for that Farseer Headhunter strategy, and then maybe trying to double up with the Tauren Chieftain. Normally, when you see a fight like this in 2v2, sometimes one player goes for that frontline heroes, while the second one goes for that backline army. So frontline army, backline army, trying to complement each other well. Keeper of the Grove trying to do a quick run on by here, going to end up taking a little bit of damage from that Farseer's wand, as it is dealing a bit of lightning damage. Hello. I don't even know how to say your name. Hello. Thank you for tuning in. Hopefully you guys are enjoying it as the Archmage quickly clears up this expansion creep camp. And will he try to actually set up an expansion? That is the question. Farseer already coming across inside here. Spirit Wolf's going to engage Farseer. Red Farseer now trying to push across here and going to find a couple of peasants as they're making their way up the ramp. A couple of peasants could be easily taken down. Entangle onto the Farseer here as the Farseer taking quite a bit of damage. New Spirit Wolves being resummoned. One peasant going to get taken down once more. More peasants may be trained up for MartialSpirit here as he tries to retreat back into the confines of his own base. Militia fighting back against that Spirit Wolf as well. Farseer going up against the Keeper of the Grove. Meanwhile, the Archmage sitting at level 2, going to try and dish out damage to that Farseer as well. Archmage picking up a Ring of Protection +3, but more importantly, getting that Brilliance aura, allowing the Archmage to drop in more water elementals and perhaps bolster that Keeper of the Grove too. All right, Peasants now trying to duck, dive, dodge, and dodge, I guess, as it takes down a couple of those Spirit Wolves once more. Keeper of the Grove isn't going to end up getting off one more entangle. No, just adding in a little bit of superficial damage onto that Farseer. Nothing a healing salve or a couple of seconds at the Fountain of Health will not recover. Coming back through, we're still looking at, tier 1 from most of the players. No one really... Nope, I take it back. Orc player taking the tier 2. Orc player taking the tier 2. We may be trying to go into some earlier Grunt or earlier Tauren Chieftain and earlier units, as the Headhunters have become a much more big staple unit in recent memory. I think it's been only in the last year that Headhunters have really become a very, very strong unit and really started to make their way into the meta, as Grunts were always generally preferred for quite some time. Hello, how are you doing, JM? Meanwhile, Farseer continuing to finish off the remainder of this creep camp, leaves behind the Gloves of Haste. I gotta believe that is a mistake right there. Meanwhile, at the Fountain of Health in the center portion of the map, we're looking at MartialSpirit looking to try and get up to level 3. And we are, well, actually seeing some units now trying to make their way here. All right, there goes another Kobold there as the units are now trying to retreat back. Archmage did pick up a Circlet of Nobility, continuing to retreat back here as things do go a little bit sideways. Is the Archmage going to be able to get that last hit? Who's going to get the last hit? Yes, Archmage gets the last hit. Item goes to the Farseer. Farseer picks up the Claws of Attack +5, but the Archmage now with level 2 Water Elemental is able to really dish out a bit more, and now having Footman with Defend, able to reflect back much of that damage as well. One Footman here, is it going to just try and hold on? Yes, staying next to that Fountain of Health. Not quite sure why he aggroed that, but I guess that's an easy way to make sure that the Headhunter gets taken out. All right, just standing next to that Fountain of Health, fighting against that Headhunter while having Defend up could have possibly been enough. Meanwhile, Linger opening into Huntresses, a rather questionable move when you see that your opponents have both gone Farseer Headhunters. We'll see if that comes back to haunt him, as the Farseer Headhunter combination on both sides, both sitting relatively low on levels, level 2 and level 1, going up against a level 3 and a level 2 Keeper of the Grove, just getting to level 2 now. All right, Huntresses, well, getting a little bit of a healing bath, spa treatment at this Fountain of Health. Last Null Overseer will get taken down. It goes down, and we see a Potion of Greater Mana dropped here. No, never mind. There's one more Null Overseer as well. That will get taken down, dropping down Healing Wards. Two very big items that could be used later on, especially in a 2v2 matchup. Never mind who I am. Keep focus on your good casting. Thank you, thank you. Now, 2v2 games, Kodo Beast adding out onto the field. Tauren Chieftain, well, Tauren Chieftain is already out onto the battlefield for one of the players. There it is. Luli going for that Tauren Chieftain now, but quickly gets entangled and surrounded. Does have Stomp, hasn't put his foot down as of yet. Could have at least done a little bit of damage, but gets taken out easily right there. Coming back around, we're looking at the Farseer sitting at level 3. Are we going to be looking at an additional hero, or just trying to get that Farseer higher? No, Farseer alongside that Shadow Hunter. So we're going to be looking at only one Tauren Chieftain in that frontline position. Orc Burrows already have the fortified armor, making the water elementals not that much effective against them. Meanwhile, trying to shut down the Altar of Storms before the Tauren Chieftain can make its way out. Meanwhile, we're taking a look at units coming in from behind. Panda could easily turn around and Breath of Fire many of those Headhunters there, as the Tauren Chieftain getting very close to making its way back out, down to 126 hit points. Tauren Chieftain is now out onto the battlefield. Breath of Fire is just a split second late to take down the altar, as the Tauren Chieftain makes his way out onto the battlefield and places down a very effective stomp. Tauren Chieftain now already out of mana. Headhunter trying to reflect damage back, as we are looking at the Kodo Beast starting to eat some of those units. Brewmaster has fallen at level 1. Archmage and Keeper of the Grove continuing this fight here, as the Archmage now gets up to level 4. Healing Wards, 2 of them have already been used. Archmage may be forced to use a Scroll of Town Portal out, and it looked like MartialSpirit and Linger both were trying to close the door out on this game a bit prematurely, ventured too far and got their hands stuck in the cookie jar, losing some heroes and losing a good amount of units. 33 supply and 44 supply going up against 32 supply and 32 supply. Okay, getting your hand caught in the cookie jar and then getting trapped in that position right there, rather dangerous. Meanwhile, we're looking at the Shadow Hunter making its way out onto the battlefield. Book of Dead, a Book of the Dead being dropped there, a powerful consumable item for a strong counter push if necessary. Decides to sell it and, well, pick up a Scroll of Town Portal instead, transferring it to the Farseer. Down off to the south here, an Ancient Protector being built directly next to a Great Hall. That is gonna, well, get found out here in just a moment pretty easily. Kodo Beast dealing some easy damage against that Ancient Protector, as it is not yet fortified armor. All right, heading off to the top right, Panda is Panda's back out here onto the battlefield. Archmage is here. Potion of Lesser Invulnerability. More Militia now making their way over to perhaps try and set up an expansion. There isn't much of an army, though. Only one Water Elemental, one Rifleman, and an Archmage alongside the Panda, trying to finish off some of those other units. Priest should be joining in on the fight. Thank you for the sub. Definitely helps out. Every little bit helps, as we're looking at the Rock Golem about to get taken down. All right, a little bit of healing now going down onto the Water Elemental to keep it alive. Now going down onto the Archmage. That Rock Golem will get finished off, as we're looking at a Talisman of Evasion. picked up here. Meanwhile, we could be looking into a little bit of trouble as the orc armies are looking to move into the Night Elf. Mass Huntress is not going to be really that useful. Meanwhile, Panda looking to get off a good breath of fire across all of these headhunters. Are we going into tier 3? Yes, we are. So we will be going into Berserkers eventually for that extra hit points and bonus damage if they care to do so. Bottom left-hand side, Great Hall, nearing completion. Meanwhile, human army could get caught out in open field as well. That could be rather dangerous, as a couple of Spirit Wolves perhaps trying to try and poke down some of these units, as the armies are going to be caught a bit split apart. Where is the human army? Completely empty, only sitting at 36 over 54 supply. He is setting up an expansion, and that was a bit of a risky move, as the army of the orc is going to try and push on in here. A good breath of fire, and fighting with Moonwells to your back is always going to be great for the Panda, as we're looking at the Scroll of Speed now trying to execute a tactical retreat away. Dual entangles onto those headhunters. Now another breath of fire, as well, we could see another death. No, a quick purge finishes that off. Spirit Wolves are going to scout out and see that there is a town hall here, so no real economic advantage. Meanwhile, human MartialSpirit continuing to play rather aggressively, going after creep camps when his partner is under a bit of duress and may end up getting creep jacked at the same time. Farseer at level 2, and then Tauren Chieftain at level 1, but is simply going to pass this on by as we're looking at the engagement go down here. All right, Shockwave rips on through here. Archmage's going to try and finish off some of these units. Dual Panda, what is it going to mean? So many low hit point Ogre Lords trying to finish things off. Level 2 now on the Panda. Legion of Doomhorn going to be the item dropped there. Archmage sitting at level 4 trying to finish off everything else. There's a bit more heals again, as a little bit of a dangerous moment completely passed by, and that could have changed the course of that game right there. So many of MartialSpirit's units were pretty much in the orange and red with the aggro of that red creep camp. Instead, he was able to level up the Panda and also pick up a Legion of Doomhorn, getting very close to level 5 on that Archmage as well. Units now marching their way across the field. Kodo Beast trying to mosey on in here. Are they going to get backed up into a strange corner? Yes, they are. Dryads are in position. Headhunters trying to fight back here, as the Mountain Giant is coming in from behind as well. Level 2 now on the Tauren Chieftain. Endurance Aura is going to be available. Quick Hex onto the Panda. Panda going to get taken down, as we see, Drunken Haze, Breath of Fire, Blizzard across many of those units. Once more, a Tauren Chieftain now throws down a Stomp as well, and things could go sideways really quickly. Beautiful stop onto that Blizzard and that Healing Ward there, as the Archmage could be in trouble once more. Down to 20 hit points, he gets taken down. And the Orc army is just simply running over many of the human and Night Elf units. Farseer now looking to back away. Tauren Chieftain is still chasing after that Brewmaster. Brewmaster taking quite a beating and constantly getting purge after purge after purge. The benefit of purge is that as long as you have the mana, you can continually purge and chain those purges. Unlike raiders with Ensnare, it is always going to be a hard cost or hard timed cooldown. Units making their way off to the north here. Tauren Chieftain nearing level 3. Medallion of Courage on the Shadow Hunter. That really should be given to the Tauren Chieftain, as we hear the Berserker upgrade come online. All right, bottom left-hand side of the map, we are still mining away pretty regularly. A couple of headhunters can easily get finished off here. Purge at the last possible moment for the save there. There's a healing wave bouncing back around, as we still don't see. Oh, there goes another Hex onto the Keeper of the Grove. There goes an Abolish Magic, and now we see Berserker upgrades for both sides. 2-1 upgrades, 2-0 upgrades, Berserker Frenzy, faster movement speed overall, as Taurens are now joining in on the battle too. All right, Orc is looking good 14 minutes into this game, as there are plenty of Kodo Beasts eating up Mountain Giants as well. That is going to be a delicious, hard to digest meal, since that Mountain Giant has 1,600 hit points, but still well worth it. Does Blue have stabs? I don't believe so. Brewmaster has... No, there is now a Staff of Preservation, and we do see an Orb of Venom on that Brewmaster as well. That could be given to the Keeper of the Grove, as the Keeper of the Grove wants to apply that damage over time Venom attack from the safety of, some distance. All right, Orc army just looks rather large at this point. The Berserkers, bloodlusted Berserkers with Endurance Aura, and they can also go Berserk as well for even faster attack speed, as we see a second Tauren Chieftain joining in on the Orc army. All right, Scroll of Town Portal inbound here. Dryads now trying to make their way over. Are we going to perhaps just have them simply walk down? And the human army is pretty much playing a game completely separate from the Night Elf. All right, MartialSpirit pretty much telling the Night Elf player, you know what, just buy me time. It should work as long as their army is strong and has good composition and is able to set up a good number of bases. Scroll of Town Portal being used by the Keeper of the Grove. Panda could be in a little bit of trouble. No additional Kodo Beast eating, as we see the other two Kodo Beasts who have empty bellies were just too far away from that fight overall. All right, another Tome of Intelligence. Panda seen at level 3. What is that? Scepter of Avaris. Kills a target unit instantly, transforming it into gold. Okay, it's a one-time transmute. All right, so you can transmute a Tauren, changing its value into gold. I'm sorry if I don't remember Scepter of Avaris as an item. I don't remember the last time that item has ever been dropped in a WarCraft 3 game. I don't think I've actually seen that particular item unless it was some sort of UMS map that I was watching and enjoying. All right, level 3 Tauren Chieftain out on the battlefield. Level 1 Tauren Chieftain, they're going to be making their way over here to the top right, or to the bottom right-hand side of the map to finish off this Granite Golem. Should be some easy clearing here in just a moment. There we are. Should be some easy clearing here in just a moment. Granite Golem coming in with a little bit of damage here. Tauren Chieftain still sitting at level 1. This Tauren Chieftain sitting at level 3. And I wonder if this Tauren Chieftain will end up getting Shockwave as well, or is it just going to try and get Endurance Aura just like his partner? All right, Demonic Figure is the item dropped here, summoning a Doomguard to fight for 180 seconds, and that's going to be fun with another Tauren Chieftain, as well as the Tauren Chieftains both have Stomp, and the Doomguard also has Stomp too. The problem will be that there are Dryads out onto the battlefield, which should be able to abolish magic and remove that Doomguard pretty quickly. Reminds me of a 4v4 game where a player got a Dagger of Escape. What if you transmute that Demon Summon? You will get 0 gold. You know what? I've never had that happen. I've never seen someone try to transmute a Doomguard. Infernal, I believe, is immune to magic, so, but then again, you are normally able to possess and transmute Spellbreaker, so yes, I don't know what the answer to that is. Coming back around, we're looking at the Dire Wolf going up against this Tree of Life here. Should be easily taken out. Mountain Giants are all in that frontline position. Tauren is right there as well. Is that Tauren just going to end up getting transmuted? That is the question of the hour, as Knights are now trying to make their way onto the battlefield. That is a rather large army. Tauren Chieftain, there's a Stomp, and the Archmage tries to do a Blizzard only to get stomped on pretty much immediately. More damage. In comes the Doomguard here, as it is now summoning Rain of Fire as well. Tauren Chieftain continuing the fight here. Doomguard has plenty of mana. Is it going to try and stomp and get in a little bit more damage too, or get in more Rain of Fires? That is the question. There's a follow-up stomp as well. There's Rain of Fire across multiple units as the Archmage now tries to retreat back. Doomguard doing quite a bit of damage, as the Doomguard now down to 100 and hit points could end up falling. Brewmaster ends up getting taken down, as the Scepter of Avaris, I believe, was taken out as well. TapioN in a little bit of trouble in his Tauren Chieftain, and this is just an absolute massacre on all sides. Both sides just losing so many units, and wave after wave of Blizzard causing problems as the Archmage tries to use a high-level advantage to try and stick around. Chain Lightning finishes off the Paladin there. Shadowhunter falls at level 4 already. More Blizzard now raining down. Going to perhaps take down more Berserkers. The Archmage in the very far back, able to use Blizzard very effectively from the safety of that front line, but that front line is now pretty much gone. The Taurens are getting absolutely destroyed in this front line position, as the Tauren Chieftain gets belted down with Blizzard as well. All right, Not quite sure how that battle was supposed to go. Priestess of the Moon now back out onto the battlefield here. Archmage is onto the battlefield here. Both sides are fighting. There goes an entangle onto the Farseer as the Kodo Beast, with nothing in their bellies, now simply trying to retreat back. All right, all the units will be retreating back once more. That was a pretty devastating battle. Tree of Life was taken down as well. So the expansion was cleaned up. Expansion there is cleaned up here. New expansion trying to be established here by MartialSpirit off to the north. Meanwhile, the Orc armies have been running on 3 bases for quite some time. Little bit of extra healing going on across the board. We're looking at, well, Berserkers now trying to make their way out. Archmage perhaps trying to pick up some potions of lesser invulnerability, some other useful items. Brewmaster with Legion of Doomhorn and well, getting a little bit faster regeneration rate. This game's still anyone's game to be had, as the, well, Spirit Wolves check the corners to make sure no expansions have been established. Coming back through, Mountain Giants looking to clear up level 4, level 2. Ogre Mauler going to get taken down here, clearing out the remainder of the creep camps to try and get higher levels. Meanwhile, we do see a quick expansion set up, maybe a tiny Great Hall off over here, as peons are going to start establishing this base. I believe we could be going into low upkeep. Nope, decides to cancel that peon there to stay in no upkeep for a bit longer. Main gold mine has now gone, so the main gold mine should be done mining here in just a second, and now it's only going to be 1 gold mine, or 2 gold mines compared to 1, as there's still 11 minutes of mining here. All right. Owl Scout keeping track of the watchtowers here. Peons could be transferred off over to the north. Tauren Chieftain resurrected back out onto the battlefield with 20, as we are now reaching the 21-minute mark of this game. Archmage with Blizzard Panda putting in quite a bit of pressure, but we could see a little bit of a pincer play. This could be bad news indeed, as a quick hex goes down onto the Archmage. Archmage trying to get away. Scroll of Town Portal quickly will need to be used. A little bit of a delay there, as, well, Farseer is getting in a couple of well-timed chain lightnings, finishing off and dealing significant damage to all of those fleeing units. The army of, well, MartialSpirit only sitting at 49 supply, so relatively small overall, as we're now still looking at split attacks here. Mountain Giants now making their way over. That is a good number of Mountain Giants, but only a 44 supply size army, as we're looking at a bit of an engagement here. All right, Taurens coming in from behind, trying to finish off this Great Hall. Great Hall not going to get taken down. Kodo Beast trying to grab the Mountain Giants, but, well, their food was to go, and couldn't get it down in time. Kodo Beast now making their way back off to the right here. Are we just going to continue to see hit and run tactics? Or how are these players going to try and start deviating from their strategies here? Anytime an expansion is tried to be established, it has been cleaned up rather easily. Both sides now only operating on 1 base. Actually, no, I take it back, 2 bases, as Orc was able to hold on to this top left expansion here. Orc has been mining more gold consistently throughout this game and this match, and, well, it definitely shows with this larger army. 2-0 upgrades and a Bloodlust and Taurens as well, but there's no armor upgrades on those Tauren that I see. Tauren Chieftain is at 4. Farseer is at 4, nearly at level 5. We're going to be going into an engagement. Farseer also has an Orb of Lightning. That Orb of Lightning able to purge down those water elementals, proc that ability, and shut down those water elementals before they're able to absorb too much damage. All right, quad Spirit Wolves coming across here. That Lumber Mill just acting as a bit of a damage sponge, trying to absorb much of the damage that the Orc army is trying to do. Meanwhile, coming in from behind, Mountain Giants are going to come across and get into a little bit of an engagement, as the Archmage, just standing right here, would be able to rain down Blizzard pretty easily and freely onto all of these units on the low ground. But instead, the units are now looking to back up. Mountain Giant getting hexed, trying to retreat back, as the human army going to continue to engage here. All right, there's Blizzard Stomp, not really hitting that much of anything. Archmage is still standing in position, now needs to get away, as well as the Paladin gets up to level 2. We are looking at Knights with Sundering Blades, could steal perhaps some of the Bloodlust, as well as the Archmage has stolen some Bloodlust. In comes a Stomp, catching some units onto that high ground as the Tauren Chieftain tries to charge up the hill. Archmage should really stand right here, getting Blizzard off onto that low ground and getting into a good, strong tactical position, trapping the Orc armies in between the high ground place here and in between these Mountain Giants. Mountain Giants getting low on hit points once more. Archmage going to perhaps try and make its way through. Low hit point Mountain Giants could make their way to the Fountain of Health. Staff of Preservation saves that Mountain Giant there, as the Fountains of Health, as I've mentioned before, are in fact percentage-based heals, so they will heal up rather quickly and nicely. This low hit point Mountain Giant looking to join back in onto the battlefield shouldn't really be trying to join back in at all. Should look to try and head off into the center portion of the map and heal back up. Meanwhile, Panda in the center portion of the map could get taken down. Oh, beautiful invisibility at the last moment. Stomped down to 12 hit points. Archmage falls at level 5, and a level 4 Panda able to escape at 12 hit points under cover of, well, a timely clutch heal, or a timely clutch invisibility right there. Coming back through, Archmage has fallen at level 5, will need to be resurrected at the tavern here to get back online. Perhaps some holy light as well. Perhaps heading off to the fountain would be beneficial. Tauren Chieftain now makes its way over and is now going to cause some problems inside the mining operations of the Night Elf. Archmage now resurrected once more. Gold is still perhaps an issue. Staff of Preservation continuing to save, but that doesn't teleport very far, as we are looking at more Staff of Preservation there. Scroll of Town Portal coming back around. Panda could try and get a Drunken Haze Breath of Fire across multiple units, as those units could easily get taken down here. Multiple low hit point Mountain Giants could easily get taken down, and that's going to give a bit of a purge, or a bit of a bonus. Scroll of Healing being used right there. Panda could still be in trouble trying to stay alive. He easily gets taken down once more, but the Tauren Chieftains are going to get taken down as well. Brewmaster falls at 4. Tauren Chieftain falls at level 3, and there is still more battles here off on the west or on the east side, with plenty of damage to go around. Brewmaster falls at level 2 as the Priestess of the Moon continues to rack up damage, and the Archmage continuing to rain down all of that Blizzard and trying to, well, finish off units. Staff, I believe another Tauren getting taken down there, as well as the Headhunters, or the Mountain Giants, getting taken down. Staff of Preservation actually gets you into harm's way, as multiple Berserkers getting taken down there again. Archmage could be in a little bit of trouble, needs to see a little bit more heals. Paladin, all right, Tauren Chieftain getting taken down. Priestess of the Moon able to rack up more damage. Farseer gonna be in trouble. Is it gonna use the Scroll of Town Portal? It is gonna be able to use it in time, taking down a handful of units as they try and escape back away. Meanwhile, the Tree of Eternity down to 588 hit points. Is it gonna be able to stay alive as the Spirit Wolves are trying to take down all of these wisps here? All right, army coming back the other side. There's Blizzard now trying to rain down on a lot of these units here. We're looking at a couple of those, well, Spirit Wolves getting taken down rather easily. Now only Berserkers in the back position, as there was enough repairs to keep this Tree of Eternity alive, at least for now. More repairs will need to be in order. Units are fighting back every which way. That is that last Shadow Wolf getting taken down there. All right, more repairs will be needed, but that battle lasting quite a bit of time, really not benefiting anyone at all, finally comes to an end. Both sides losing a lot of their units and, well, giving experience to their opponent. This expansion only has, 5 minutes of mining left. We are 27 minutes into this marathon of a match now, with still plenty of expansions and plenty of game to be played. Panda getting resurrected here. Mountain Giants using that Fountain of Health in the center. 1,600 hit points recovered very, very quickly. Meanwhile, Owl Scout keeping track of this Orc army here. And, well, this has got to be an annoying factor for the Orc army, as we see an Entangle now go down on the Shadowhunter. All right, we're looking at a little bit of a problem here. Keeper of the Grove will be forced to try and retreat back. Archmage is in position, and as soon as you see the 2-on-1 fight there, you can see that they did not want anything to do with that particular battle. All right, Berserker going to be easily taken down. Gets taken out, as the Archmage is at level 6 with level 3 Brilliance Aura. No mass teleport as of yet. Panda sitting at level 4. perhaps trying to hold onto this expansion here. A bit of repairs are underway. Still plenty of mining going on here. We are mining on 2 bases each. Note 3 bases. Orc has constantly been up mining bases, now mining this bottom right-hand side, and has mined out almost 2,000 gold, and it is now finally scouted out as well. All right, scouted out, positioning, all of that information now revealed. Archmage is at 6, Panda is at 4, Paladin is at 3 for a human. Meanwhile, we are looking at a level 5 Keeper of the Grove, level 3 Priestess of the Moon, level 2 Panda as well, as that Panda was taken out earlier in the fight before it was able to level up. Now, what we've seen throughout this match is really 2 different styles of play. The human player has been playing away from the Night Elf player, allowing the Night Elf player to try and do his own tactics. The Orc team has pretty much been sticking together throughout every single match and every single fight and winning those fights. But at the same time, the human player was able to take down a couple of, get some really good items, was able to level up. You can see already a level 6 on that Archmage. And level 6 Archmage with level 3 Brilliance Aura across so many units, just really that powerful. Panda could easily get Drunken Haze, Breath of Fire across multiple peons here, and these peons should be able to be easily taken down without much of a problem. Has a Staff of Teleportation if it needs to make its way back out and get back into the battlefield quickly. All of these peons, if they get finished off, won't give level 5 to that Brewmaster, but it would definitely help. There's another Breath of Fire, and only 1 peon is left. Now off to the north here, Tauren Chieftain Farseer say, you know what, if you want to do that, I can do that as well. Let's go ahead and put pressure on. But I'm attacking with my entire army, making sure you do not have an expansion after all is said and done. Archmage now making its way back over. Panda going to try and take down this Great Hall here. This expansion is going to be is already lost 54 over 84 supply for MartialSpirit, and he's not going to get that much more gold at all. Meanwhile, a little bit of a split prong attack once more as this expansion, while taking quite a bit of damage, Mountain Giants now looking to back away, and the Orc army looking to just try and stay together. But this is only one Orc army, still a bit scary. Level 6, level 5, level 3, as the units all teleport back. This expansion will end up getting taken down here as the Archmage, without mass teleport, has no easy way to try and save his main base aside from a Scroll of Town portal. All right, Scroll of Town portal inbound. All right, trying to get some, well, are we going to see some control magic? No control magic on those wolves as the Panda gets off of Drunken Haze, Breath of Fire on all of those fleeing units. Drunken Haze not really lasting or affecting the movement speed all too much as the Endurance Aura of the Tauren Chieftain able to overcome some of that difference. The Blizzard not really raining down onto many of those units, finally getting in position there as that Blizzard is now racking up quite a bit of damage. Archmage forcing a Scroll of Town portal from the Farseer as they will all be backing away once more. All right, a lot of action away from all of the fighting, and as there are split prongs attacks everywhere. Does Earthquake interrupt other ultimates like Starfall? I don't think, no, Earthquake only slows. It is not an actual, stun. All right. Level 5, coming in from one Orc side. I believe the level 6, level 3 coming in from the other side. Mountain Giants are in that frontline position. A little bit of additional taunts causing the Tauren to double back around here as the Mountain Giants now make their way forward. A big stomp right there, but that Tauren Chieftain is a little bit worse for wear. He is slowed and could have a little bit of problems for himself. Panda trying to get off some Drunken Haze, Breath of Fire, perhaps trying to slow down. There is another Entangle as well. There is a stomp, and we could have a potential surround as the Tauren Chieftain still trying to head back away. Healing Wave. Tauren Chieftain gets the Scroll of Town portal, will be able to back up, but now this is going to be a 2-on-1 fight as the Farseer and Tauren Chieftain need to back away as well. Long distance mining is in order. Well, we could be looking at an expansion off to the north here as Mountain Giant's going to try and engage off to the side. Archmage could turn back around. There goes a stomp onto the Paladin, followed by a Hex, followed by Chain Lightning, and the Paladin falls before able to use that Divine Shield. Blizzard now raining down there across multiple units. Scroll of Healing trying to counteract the Blizzard as there's a massive fight on multiple fronts. here, as the Headhunters have a bit of a uphill advantage going up against the Mountain Giants and all of these other units. Panda could be in a little bit of trouble. Tauren Chieftain now in a little bit of trouble. He's going to be able to make its way back out. Uses a potion of healing, but no, unable to get back out as the Priestess of the Moon gets up to level 4. Keeper of the Grove is at level 5. Panda still now sitting at level 5 as well. Level 3 Breath of Fire could spell a big problems as the Spellbreakers are trying to finish off the Tauren Chieftain. Panda has no way to easily get healed. Staff of Sanctuary gets him out of trouble as both sides are just fighting all sorts of problems. A big stomp now comes down Tauren Chieftain, and now the Archmage is now in trouble, down to 160 hit points. He has no easy way to get back out. Invisibility at the last possible moment for that save, healing up quite a bit of hit points while getting stalled at that Fountain of Health. All right. Coming back down. Mountain Giants are resistant to magic. They are not immune to magic. Coming back through, there goes one Sorceress. It's going to get taken down. Spellbreakers heading back up the ramp here. Priest need to get in a bunch of heals. Panda nearly back up to full hit points. The Priest needs to heal up that Archmage and itself as well. Scroll of Regeneration being used, but the Priest wasn't there close enough and will be forced to use a bit of its own mana as well. Not too big of a problem, though, as the Archmage's Brilliance Aura more than making up for much of that difference. All right, Orc Army seems to have had an advantage throughout this game and doesn't want to let go of it, but has not been able to close out the door at all. Meanwhile, we are looking at a level 5 Keeper of the Grove, level 4 Priestess of the Moon, level 2 Brewmaster, and if we see a level 6 Keeper of the Grove, all bets are off in terms of who is going to win, as the Keeper of the Grove would suddenly have access to so much healing. There's a Drunken Haze, Breath of Fire, a Mist Stomp, only hitting a Treant right there. More Panda, Breath of Fire coming across as the Archmage is going to try and come in from behind. This is a one-on-one fight right now, but it should be, or one-on-one fight, no, a two-on-two fight right now. Both sides still fighting their way through. Farseers are here. Tauren Chieftain able to stay alive. Panda Archmage comes in from the top side here, and now getting in a handful of blizzards, causing enough problems, but there's Big Bad Voodoo. Shadow Hunter countering the blizzard with Big Bad Voodoo on the Shadow Hunter, allowing mass invulnerability for all of these units, and now trying to put in pressure onto that Tree of Eternity. With no easy stuns, as the Keeper of the Grove just can't get close enough. The damage is just adding up more and more. There's more invulnerability. Tree of Eternity. Big Bad Voodoo still causing quite a bit of problems. Orb of Venom. Damage over time. That Tauren is just outside the range. Breath of Fire, as I believe we could be looking at resurrections or ancestral recalls from these Spirit Walkers as well. Archmage trying to add up more. Tauren Chieftain falls at level 5. Brewmaster falls at level 2. We're going to see massive death right there as Headhunters and Shaman all getting just blown over by that blizzard. Mountain Giants continuing this fight here. More blizzard raining down. Chain lightning onto that Archmage. Archmage sitting at level 6, trying to get up to level 7 as still more damage getting racked on in. All right, Archmage trying to hold on here. There's more blizzard, as we can see more damage. There goes a Wind Rider and also a Tauren, both getting taken down there, but still not level 7 on that Archmage as of yet. Keeper of the Grove now with Tranquility online. Panda sitting at level 5. Is he going to try and be able to get a Breath of Fire off? He does have level 3 Brilliance Aura backing him up, as we see a bunch of these units trying to make their way back away. Are we going to see some more Taurens getting taken down? Yes, we are. And it looks as though the human Night Elf army has, well, the Orc army on the run. On the run normally means you are winning, as another Kodobi is going to get taken down. Keeper of the Grove going to try and catch up to a handful of other units, perhaps take down a Berserker with a little bit of damage over time, and also has another Entangle ready for a Spirit Walker if push comes to shove. All right, Berserker going to get taken down right there. Keeper of the Grove having plenty of mana with the help from that Archmage and that Brilliance Aura, and the long distance mining of the human army seems to be enough to keep things going for MartialSpirit, even though his gold is relatively low. All right, Peons trying to oversaturate this gold mine here. Not going to really do much. Archmage going to dive on in, and now, well, with mass blizzard, all of those Peons could easily get taken down. This is already at level 7 here. Is the Brewmaster going to perhaps get up to level 5? Breath of Fire finishing off some of those other units as the Peons are now getting taken down. Brewmaster not going to get to level 6 here, though, as this Great Hall needs to get taken down and get taken down quickly. Owl Scout keeping track of one of the Orc armies. Owl Scout trying to keep track of the top left-hand side of the map as well. So many expansions. All the gold in the world in Warcraft 3 can normally buy you a victory, but this game is still up for grabs. Archmage here, he should have mass teleport at this point and stage in the game. A mass teleport allowing him to move across the field. Only real reason why it makes sense for him to be on the bottom right-hand side. Where is the mass teleport? Where are they going to try and travel off to next? His main base could be in a little bit of trouble and still hasn't decided yet. All right, there goes a peasant right there. And, well, this could potentially be a problem as the main base now in a bit of trouble. Archmage, nope. Archmage is now wandering around here. We see the Priestess of the Moon and the Keeper of the Grove seen at level 6 here. Priestess of the Moon as at level 5 with level 3 True Shot Aura. That level 3 True Shot Aura would normally be a big boost to the army, but there is not much of an army to be spotted. Night Elf down to 16 over 50 supply, and it looks as though Orc has been able to rebuild enough of their armies with the help of all of these additional gold mines. All right, 3 gold mines being mined from as opposed to 0 right now as the army now getting underway. Archmage comes in, gets a blizzard down onto some of those units, but it does not look good enough at all. The economy of Orc is just far too strong with 3 mining bases still going strong after taking down that bottom right-hand side. All right, Brewmaster is sitting at level 5, nearing level 6. Priestess of the Moon at level 5 right now. That is going to give a big damage bonus to the Spellbreakers. The Spellbreakers getting 30% damage bonus. Going to try and go up against these Watchtowers here. They do have medium armor, able to absorb quite a bit more damage. Blizzard now running on in. There's a Breath of Fire as the Blizzard actually pretty poorly positioned, not actually going after any of those peasants. Now finally able to take down many of those peasants there and those Watchtowers. Panda getting in a little bit more. There's a mass teleport. Where are they going to try and teleport to? Teleport off to the other side, getting to a tree and now taking down the other expansion as well, shutting down the expansions as quickly as possible. Panda could get up to level 6 here, and then Earthstorm and Fire is going to be online as the Paladin is now at level 4 with level 2 Divine Shield. All right, trying to finish off this great haul here. That damage is going to add up pretty quick. 50 damage up on the high end. Both sides are still fighting their way through, and now in comes the Tauren Chieftain and the Shadowhunter. They're trying to save the expansion, but it's not going to be in time as the Archmage should be able to get a mass teleport out of here rather quickly. All right, no, a stomp could cause problems. Archmage is now trying to get away. A quick hex onto the Archmage. Archmage is in trouble. He's trying to back away, trying to get away here. This could be the death of him as the Archmage is now caught out onto the wrong side of the battlefield. We could see some more Holy Light as well. Archmage trying to retreat back here. Panda could go in for Earth, Storm, and Fire and leave Storm and Fire to try and cause a little bit of problems, but MartialSpirit is now just pretty much caught in a very, very bad position. All right, level 4 now on the Tauren Chieftain. Purge now onto the Archmage. Archmage trying to run all the way back around, getting some Holy Lights, still staying alive temporarily as the Archmage now down to 400 hit points, 300 hit points. Earth, Storm, and Fire as we see a Cyclone onto the Tauren Chieftain. Tauren Chieftain up in the air, but not going to be enough. The well-timed Hex followed by Stomp, stopping the Archmage from being able to head back out, and that could have been enough. Battle still raging on. Level 6 Farseer fell alongside. Paladin is in trouble. Does have Divine Shield. Able to stick around a little while longer. Needs some Priest in order to heal back up, but that's not going to be enough. Finishes off the Great Hall here as a last ditch ever. Gets a Holy Light on Storm and now trying to back away. And now Earth is still leaving in the back here. Drunken Haze, Breath of Fire. Units are still in a massive retreat. Hex going down here. Panda could try and Breath of Fire off that Farseer. Farseer was down to 76 hit points. There's a Breath of Fire right there. Paladin is going to be able to save that Panda. No, he is not. And I believe that will be the end as the level 6 Brewmaster has fallen, leaving only behind a level 4 Paladin from the human army. A great fight here, but buying a win with gold in Warcraft 3 seems to be the winning procedure, as there is still two mining bases after all this time. New mining base being built up over here to the bottom right, but I believe the writing is on the wall. There is just far too much going on for the Orc armies as we're looking at the Tauren Chieftain looking to finally close out this game. expansion here is entangled but has no wisps inside at all. There is no gold available whatsoever, and no gold being transferred over at all either to try and mine a bit more gold. And that is going to be the end here. Orc army looking absolutely, absolutely stunning with how large and how versatile it is. The Shadow Hunter using Big Bad Voodoo to clear out the bottom right hand Night Elf expansion, and then prolonging that fight was absolutely brilliant, as the Shadow Hunter still has so much utility. Tauren Chieftain going after, well, what is going to be the remains of the Night Elf heroes. Level 6 Keeper of the Grove, level 5 Priestess of the Moon. They're trying to fight their way through. They're getting purged down constantly and consistently. Tauren Chieftain trying to close in on that distance. Chain Lightning landing onto the Keeper of the Grove as the Tauren Chieftain unable to catch up even with that Endurance aura. All right, Keeper of the Grove double backing through the trees as the Tauren Chieftain tried to slip in as well. Still a little bit of problems. Owl Scout, and there is the GG's. Holy lights, but that's not going to be enough. Finally, Stomp does land, and that is the game. A long marathon of a match, but the gold being the gold mining really being the final difference between these two teams. 33, looking at the resource scores, the amount of gold mined 2,600 and 2,300, and that's after gold lost to upkeep. So they lost more gold to upkeep, and they still mined significantly more than the other team. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed this marathon of a 2v2 match. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below.